Customer leaves her newborn baby in the shop. A short story, but a little alarming for us staff. A usual day at work, serving customers. I noticed a beautiful newborn baby in her pram quietly fast asleep in the corner of the store. I expect the baby belongs to the lady nearby who is browsing at clothes. She and her eldest daughter enter the dressing room and are trying on clothes. Eventually, all the customers leave the store and the baby is still there. My colleague states that she saw the lady come in pushing the baby along with her eldest daughter, and thankfully she hadn't gone too far. We shout her down and my colleague asks, "Did you forget something?" and she exclaims, "The baby." The moment she realizes, the husband comes back from elsewhere, maybe the bathroom, and the couple start shouting at each other, accusing each other of leaving the baby in the store. We were all grateful that we didn't have to look after a newborn baby. Customer tried to steal a computer and TV in one of the most brazen ways I've ever seen. This happened about 6 years ago, at one of America's largest retail chains. I was fairly new to retail at this time, still young enough to believe in the good in people. I was monitoring our 4 self-checkout registers. A woman comes up with a computer and TV in the box. My initial reaction was me thinking why anybody would come over to self-checkout to scan those items, as we didn't have hand scanners at this time over there. You either had to hover the barcode over the scanning plate or you needed somebody like me to type in the UPC and serial numbers for both items. So, I go over and type in the numbers, and all seems well. A few moments later I see some error message on my screen I am standing behind that I couldn't interpret. I didn't know what it was saying. I had never seen this before, but it did mention the items were voided off. I thought it might have been a simple void she did, which I always need to approve on self-checkout, which annoyed me because I took the time to type in the UPC and serial for both items and she suddenly doesn't want them. Turns out she did want the items. I go over to the woman and ask what's up, and she says she didn't know, but she used her credit card and it said the transaction went through. Not likely since no receipt came out, but she mentioned she didn't even need it for a computer and TV. Are you dumb? She kept insisting the transaction went through. Not knowing what to do, I call a customer service manager over to sort through this problem. The customer tells the CSM the same thing, and the CSM says she needs to go into the cash office and check the transaction logs for that self-checkout to see if it really went through or not. Keep in mind throughout all this the customer is using a, now known, not at the time, technique of acting super busy by repeatedly saying, "I'm going to be late to pick up my daughter," which not knowing that kind of tactic still made me think, who buys a TV and computer when they are that pressed for time? Manager reiterates she needs to check the transaction logs and she would be back in a few minutes. Customer is annoyed but the manager walks off to do that. The entire time she is in the cash office this woman is going on about how it went through, and after a minute she asks me if she can call her credit card company to see if they say it went through. I didn't confirm their response would mean she could up and leave, but I said she is free to do so. So, she takes out her phone, calls a number, and without even being asked any identifying information gets a rep on the line in record time. She tells me the rep says it went through, and asks if I'd like to speak to them. Not wanting to get involved with her personal financial stuff, I declined to take the phone in one of the biggest regrets of my life, because I'd kill to see what they would say on the other line, as it clearly was not a credit card company. She hangs up, and now keeps on going. "They said it was fine, can I go?" and I state not until the manager gets back. So, after what seemed like an eternity of listening to this woman go on and on about needing to pick up her daughter, calling her CC company, asking if she is good to go, etc., my manager comes out. She explains there was no transaction in the log of her purchase, and asks to see her card. She takes one look and says, "It didn't go through because it is expired, see," and points. The customer, realizing they truly were defeated, angrily mumbles something like, "Fine, I guess I won't be buying these things today," which of course was no problem for us, and storms off, leaving us baffled. So, in short, woman tries to buy a TV and computer through self-checkout. During payment, the register freaks out giving us an unintelligible message I've never seen before or since. Manager goes to check transaction logs, customer the entire time is squirming like a worm trying to leave, calls her credit card company, and they say she was charged. I still don't let her leave. Manager comes back, confirms nothing went through and discovers her card is actually expired. Customer bolts. Thanks for watching and don't forget to give a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Have a good one.